I'm Michael White from TB White and Sons of Ballarat. We're stock agents in Ballarat, dealing in sheep and cattle. We've got farms at Bungaree, where we mainly run lambs, trading around about 5,000 lambs a year. We bought the bulk handler just mainly for drenching, injecting, and a bit of mouthing and things like that as well. We mainly bought it for the farm, just so when you come back to drench and things like that, it's not a big job. We've probably put roughly 15,000 sheep and lambs through the handler itself. It's actually ended up being pretty useful to our livestock business as well. It's been to a fair few clients' places now. The beauty of it is we just don't need the best setup for it to be used. You can almost hook it onto the end of a gate out the side of the yards, and that works just as good. Just saves a lot of effort, makes it actually a job that you look forward to doing. And on the farm, we can be a bit short-staffed sometimes when we're out doing other jobs. Will, who works on the farm, well, he can be here on his own, and it's actually not a bad job for him to drench 1,000 lambs. It's only going to take him an hour and a half, and makes you feel a little bit less guilty leaving him here to do that too, because it's not a bad job, it's enjoyable doing it. In the setup side of things, we just back up, lower down the entrance ramp for the sheep. Once we've got that set, then we lower down the 4 jacks on each corner, so that levels the machine up. Once we've got our motor plugged into 240 volt power, put our walkway ramps down and our 2 hydraulic plugs plugged into the motor, we're straight into it. So it's nothing to set up, doesn't involve air or anything like that, which is a real benefit. It only hums along, it doesn't disturb the sheep. It's really good that way, and you don't spend a whole day listening to a noisy air compressor running or a generator running or anything like that. I've had a couple of different sheep handlers before. Every other handler we've had, we've tried a few different ones that's sort of more individual, where it clamps each individual sheep. The only thing we've found with that is we're only processing one at a time. With this, as you can see, we've got the drench pack on one side. We might have a needle hanging on the other side. So there's 2 of us here. One person's going down one side drenching, one person's needling. Even if you're here on your own, it's only a matter of going up one side drenching, down the other side needling, and then back up with the brand. You let them go, you can get a good count on them as they go out, and they just flow through so well. And we just found that, for what we were doing, drenching, injecting, backlining or mouthing, ear tagging as well, this was going to be a lot better. We've also had ewes and lambs go through it together, which saved us having to split them off, whereas if we were putting them through an individual handler, we'd have no hope of putting the ewes and lambs through at the same time, because the sizes would be just too different. So we found a real benefit in that. The 6-in-1 boosters into the lambs without having to draft them off the ewes and give the ewes a drench at the same time. One thing that's been a real benefit, we're not finding that we've got to push them up or have anti-backing panels to get them in there, but we just find that there's always a sheep waiting, to come in for the next batch. They can see the other sheep running out, so that's sort of the beauty of it. And also probably the setup time. It's quite easy to set up. We're probably set up within probably 10 minutes each time, level the machine up, and we're straight into it. That's what we liked about it. It's just it's hydraulic, and it's very straightforward how it operates. It was definitely the right choice to make for our job, where we're towing it some distance to clients' places. I think there's a real benefit of going that way with the contractor model. I think this machine, it really helps with staff retention. We had a case the other day where we were shearing, and we bought lambs from interstate that are mixed in with lambs that are bred in Victoria. So obviously the ones from interstate have to be electronic tagged. So Will was actually here on his own, and he was drenching. He's putting a 5-in-1 into the lambs, and he was branding, but he's also going through each race full, and he was electronic tagging anything that's come from interstate. So I think a job like that, if you were to put that in front of someone and say you're going to do that in a race, and actually manually have to lift each sheep's head to check things or check tags and drench and needle, I don't think you'd have staff as long as you would with a machine like this. Like I said, it just makes the job so much easier. You actually enjoy it. At the end of the day, you're pretty fresh, and you're not worried about wrestling sheep all day. That's probably the big benefit of it. If it's only going to be one person here doing it, they don't have to be totally skilled in dealing with sheep. The sheep are totally immobilised, basically they can't move. So that's one of the big things. One person can do the job on their own. They flow in great. It's not a real effort to do it, and that's probably where it opens it up to almost getting anyone to do the job, and they're not worried about wrestling the sheep or hurting themselves. Look, ProWay have been great to deal with. I would recommend the machine. I have recommended to a few clients who have shown a bit of interest. So like I'm saying, a lot of them pop up around the place now, which just it just makes sense. Just the build quality and things like that. And if there's ever a problem, we get looked after. Yeah, we're really happy with it.